heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
And then where is that at? That's in the covenant, right? That's in the 10 Commandments. That's the covenant. Jesus didn't come in with no different doctrine. Go ahead and read.
But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Lord, people say that Jesus came and made it easy. No, he made it harder. I used to I could hate you as much as I want to, but now I can't even do that no more. Skip on down to verse 27 and read.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Now, in the old days, you couldn't lay with nobody but your spouse, right? Go ahead and read.
But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Like, these brothers talking about, well, ain't nothing wrong with looking. Well, I beg to differ. It is something wrong with looking. Lord, I don't want you looking and lusting out no woman, and don't want no sisters looking and lusting out no man. Y'all are not exempt. He just worded it like this. But he went back to the commandments, right?
Yeah.
That covenant. Let's go a little further. Let's go to Exodus. Because it took something to seal this covenant. Because this covenant is sealed with something. See what Moses sealed it with. Let's go to Exodus, the 24th chapter. Because when the Lord gave this covenant, he sealed it with something. Because Moses, he was the mediator. We all understood that Aaron was the high priest. But the Lord ordained Moses. He was a Levite, and he the one that took care of the business. Moses checked Aaron I don't know how many times. Yeah, you the high priest, but I'm running. I'm the mediator. I'm between you and God. Exodus 24 and 1. Exodus 24 and 1. When you get there, go ahead and read.
And he said unto Moses, come up unto the Lord, thou and Aaron and Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off.
Go ahead.
And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord, and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice, and said, all the words which the Lord have said will we do.
So he told them everything. He gave them the law, the covenant, and everything, right? And they agreed. All that the Lord say, we will do. And a lot of people don't understand. When you get baptized in the name of Jesus, you telling the Lord, all that you say, we will do. Go ahead and read.
And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offering, and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
And Moses took half of the blood, and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant, and read it in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord have said will we do, and be obedient.
See, the blood, it's sealed. It's sealed. It's a done deal now. It is you have went under the blood. You have made the agreement. This covenant is sealed. Go ahead and read.
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words.
See, that is the blood that seals the covenant. Now we see the blood, Moses sealed the covenant with the blood. Let's go look at it and let's see what Jesus sealed it with. Let's go to Hebrews 8 chapter. We're going to read into this, though. We're going to Hebrews 8. First of all, we got to let you know that, hey, this covenant is etched in stone. Hebrews 8. We almost there, y'all. Because Moses, he had to set things up the way the Lord say set them up. He had to build the things the way the Lord say build them, because they represented something. They represented heavenly things, how the Lord had set things set up in heaven. 8 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Now the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such an high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesties in heaven, in the heavens.
We got, so who is this one sitting on the right hand? It is Jesus sitting by the supreme power. Go ahead and read.
A minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle.
He's up there sitting in the true tabernacle. Because Moses, he made the prototype. Go ahead and read.
Which the Lord pitched and not man.
See, the Lord pitched that one, the one he's sitting in, not man. Go ahead and read.
For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices. Wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer.
Go ahead.
For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law.
You know, them sacrifices, you know, that they used to do before Jesus came on the scene. Go ahead and read.
Who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things.
See, they was doing that to show an example of the heavenly thing. Go ahead and read.
As Moses was admonished of God when he was about to make the tabernacle, for see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount.
And he made it exactly the way the Lord say, because if you do something the way the Lord say don't do it, hey, he'll take you out. He will take you out. You know, there's only certain kind of brothers, only Levites could carry the Ark of the Covenant. Brothers thought he was doing right by dealing with trying to bring the Ark of the Covenant to the city of David. Hey, he killed him because he was out of order. You didn't do it the way I say do it. That's why I say these people say, well, you serve God your way and I'm going to serve him my way. You can't do that. You're going to serve God the way he say serve him. Go ahead and read.
But now have ye obtained a more excellent ministry.
Go ahead.
By how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant.
See, Jesus is a mediator of a better covenant. He's the go-between guy of a better covenant. Go ahead and read.
Which was established upon better promises.
And it's a better promise with his covenant. Because he brought eternal life. Go ahead and read.
For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second.
If it wasn't no fault in the first one, it wouldn't be no need for the second one. But wasn't anything wrong with God's words? Let's see who the fault was with. Go ahead and read.
For finding fault with them.
Oh, finding fault with who? The people. They refused to keep it. Go ahead and read.
He saith, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. Because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord.
See, the Lord, you know, he was walking with them hand in hand. Tell them, hey, keep my word. He made it so where he had it written all over the place. And they still didn't want to keep it. So this is what he had to do. Go ahead and read.
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
You see that? That is how you show that you belong to God, when you keep these laws. And that Spirit of God is on you, telling you how to operate. Because when you walk outside the boundary of God, he warned you. He put his laws in your head and in your mind. They are always there. If you blow it, it's because you want to blow it. Go ahead and finish reading that.
And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest.
And they don't do that now, from the least to the greatest. Skip on down to the 9th chapter, and we're going to read verse 11, because this is the better promise. Go ahead and read.
But Christ being come and high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building.
Go ahead.
Neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us.
He redeemed us with his own blood. The blood of bulls and goats could not save us. So he came and died for our sin. A better sacrifice. What could be more better than God coming and dying for your sin? What could beat that? Nothing. And you didn't even earn it. Think about what I'm saying. Go ahead and read.
For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctify to the purifying of the flesh.
Go ahead.
How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God.
In other words, he did not sin. He came clean before God. See, them animals represented something. Them animals had to be clean. But they was a prototype of the real sacrifice, Jesus. Go ahead and read.
Purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God.
And that is why he came and died, to purge your conscience from them dead works, from sinning against God, knowing that your master have came and died for your sin. Go ahead and read.
And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament.
He is the mediator. He is the go-between. He is the intercessor for you. That is why you got to believe in Jesus. Because if you don't believe in Jesus, you do not have an intercessor. Nobody can plead your cause. Go ahead and read.
That by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament.
He not only died for our sins, he died for the people who was under the old covenant. That is how precious this blood is. Read that again, man. Because a lot of people don't understand it. Because you get Jake saying, well, what about the ones that was under the law in the days of old? As long as they did it the way the Lord said do it, they was under this blood right here. Go ahead and read that again.
And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament.
What was the first testament? The one that Moses gave. He died for them also. Go ahead and read.
They which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance.
Go ahead.
For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator.
That is why Jesus had to die. Go ahead and read.
For a testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise, it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth.
Go ahead.
Whereupon neither the first testament was dedicated without blood.
And we read it. We read. That's why I took you over there in Exodus first. Go ahead and read.
For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of calves and of goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop and sprinkled both the book and all the people.
And that is why I read that first. But check this out. Go ahead and read.
Saying, this is the blood of the testament which God have enjoined unto you.
Go ahead.
Moreover, he sprinkled with the blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry, and almost all things are by the law purged with blood. And without shedding of blood is no remission.
That is why the Lord had to die. He was the ultimate sacrifice. Because without his blood, there would be no remission from sins. Let's go look at some more. Because the Lord Moses also talked about something else. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. Because what had happened, Israel sinned against God. And the Lord told them the consequences, what would happen if they sinned against him. He was going to scatter them and put them in captivity. And Moses talked about that. But Moses also told them that they was going to be gathered too. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. We getting there, y'all. We getting there. I ain't going to tell you how many more scriptures we got. Sisters got these big purses in here. I don't know, might pull something out and throw at me. Try to rush me. But I got to get all this in. Deuteronomy 30, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead and read, brother.
And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee.
Now you go back to Deuteronomy 28 chapter. He told you all the blessings, and he told you all the curses. He told you what he would do for you if you did what he said, and he told you what he was going to do to you if you didn't obey. And it came to pass. Go ahead and read.
And shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I commanded thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee.
So the Lord, Moses knew that they was going to get scattered, but he know that they're going to gather them also. Go ahead and read.
If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch
Wherever
thee.
Israel is, he going to gather. I don't care how far he is. He going to gather you back. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers.
Because Israel going to get that land back. They are not there yet. And it ain't time to go there yet. But they're going to get it back. And they're going to get it at a set time. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart, and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live.
Because when you get back over that land, you're going to have a clean heart. He's going to purge you. We're going to look at some of that. Now, let's go, because the Lord, he had to scatter Israel.